Yeah, okay. New player circle. So,
Hey man, say man, you already know what I'm gonna say, man. It's your local neighborhood player, Damone Jr. kicking in the Player Circle podcast. And we're gonna try to fit a square into a circle. And hey man, today, man, we got a very disturbing case. Case of a young man by the name of Jesse Butler. Does the unthinkable to a few of his peers. Two of them that appear to be ex-girlfriends of his, you know. If you see what the title say, you see what the title say. He's accused of SA, both of these young ladies. And people knew about this. You feel me? I think people knew, adults knew. His face ain't blasted on every channel though right now, and I was wondering why not. I'm watching Law and Crime. I love this channel on YouTube. You feel me? This is why I get the catching up and seeing how fucked up the world is. You feel me? But high school rapist cries to his mommy as cops slap on the cuffs. So when the police went to go pick him up, man, they putting the cuffs on. And he a big ass kid too. I'm gonna call it like I see it. So my nigga Dave Smith, man, what's going on, man? I'm gonna call it like I see it. This is a big ass team. You feel me? And motherfucker had the nerve to be crying after what he did to these young ladies. And somehow, after 2 SA charges, I don't know why he didn't get an attempted murder charge, but after 2 SA charges, he escaped with no jail time. And I hear no public outrage. You feel me? I just find it funny that, you know, the public was so outraged when a good young brother, Carmelo Anthony, defended himself and was granted his rights as a U.S. citizen to bond out of jail. You know, they were outraged. But this young man essayed 2 young ladies and escaped jail time. I ain't gonna hold y'all up too much longer without any further ado, man. You already know what to do, man. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get to the video. This one pissed me off, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. Doing this one, it pissed me off. This one, I was pissed off watching this shit in the morning. I'm like, boy, I gotta cover this shit. I ain't really too much into filming on Sundays no more. That's why I'm on later than normally. But this story was just too crazy. This is insane. I said, we gotta shed light on this. This is insane. Law and Crime is behind the footage. Hopefully they don't try to copyright me for trying to push this story out there, because this is insane.
Taken into custody after committing brutal crimes against girls he dated. He may look meek in police body camera footage, but police say he assaulted, raped, and even strangled fellow teenagers. And a surprise sweetheart deal took his prison term from a possible 70 years down to 0. We're taking a closer look at how the teen and his mom...
This motherfucker went from 70 years to 0. How, Sway? How the fuck you go from 70 years to 0? Maybe he was the white complexion, not the right complexion. Maybe he was the white complexion. You know? How the fuck, shout out to everybody in the building. How the fuck you go from 70 years to goddamn 0 jail time? Let me play this one more time for y'all, goddamn it. You see what he did. And this guy hear this shit. This shit crazy.
After committing brutal crimes against girls he dated. He may look meek in police body camera footage, but police say he assaulted, raped, and even strangled fellow teenagers. And a surprise sweetheart deal took his prison term from a possible 70 years down to 0.
Sway?
We're taking a closer look at how the teen and his mom reacted to police taking him into custody. We're on the case presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart.
This is insane. Shout out to everybody in the building. Don't tap your screen. You in the building, man.
Before we get into this, in August, 18-year-old Jesse Mack Butler of Stillwater, Oklahoma, entered a no contest plea to 11 heinous charges, including rape, attempted forced oral sodomy, and more. He was staring down a nearly 80-year prison sentence, but in a shocking twist, the court agreed to grant Butler youthful offender status, and instead of going to prison, Butler went home with instructions on how to complete counseling and community service requirements. Butler's exact treatment plan, it's sealed in the court record, but the district attorney's office released this statement, quote, "The youthful offender sentence imposed against Jesse Butler requires him to complete his rehabilitation plan successfully, including an aggressive schedule of therapy with a specialist in sex offender treatment, and should he fail, he faces reclassification as an adult and a sentence of 10 years in prison."
So for some reason, they seem to think that This motherfucker was better off getting therapy, sex offender treatment. What the fuck? Who signed up for that job? Who signed up to try to treat niggas who's no, they don't need to be treated. They need to go in the back and be mistreated. Who signed up to be a specialist in sex offender treatment? The fuck? He has an aggressive schedule of therapy. Aggressive, complete his rehabilitation plan successfully. Aggressive schedule of therapy with a specialist in sexual offender treatment. How do you get a nigga to not want to sexually assault people no more through talking to him? How you do that? Or he get reclassified as adult. The motherfucker was 16. Motherfucker was 16, bruh. Come on now. That nigga grown as hell. He was 16. He knew what the fuck he was doing. But I'm gonna let the story develop some more before we get to it, because this shit crazy. Motherfucker knew what he was doing.
The change in punishment sent shockwaves through the community. It devastated the two girls who had gone to school officials.
This shit crazy. If he was black.
A mom of one
Hey, Derry.
That the families were against youthful offender status from the beginning, and said that it was their understanding that the prosecutor trying this case would not accept a deal like that. Photos have been released showing one of the victims in the hospital after apparently repeated assaults by Butler. The victim's family says she ended up needing surgery because of...
I'm telling you, right? It's at this point, though, when y'all lose the gavel, now I got to get on some law-abiding citizen shit. Because he getting fucked up. No jail time? I don't, you feel me? Crime of passion. What? Little girl, alive and well, thank God. She alive and well. She able to tell her story. You feel me? The white complexion.
Severe damage to a vein in her neck. There are calls for the judge who approved Butler's deal. Special Judge Susan Worthington.
Special Judge Susan Worthington. You big body, little head having ass bitch. This the bitch. This the bitch that let him go. It's because his dad white. I'm blaming him too. His dad white. Nigga, the fuck is you talking about? It's because his dad. Y'all know, let the story develop, bitch ass nigga. My mama, bitch, is his daddy not white? Is his daddy not white? Like, let me know something. Let me know something I don't know. Let me know something I don't know. He got a black daddy? He got a black daddy? He got a black daddy? Let me know something. Do we got a black daddy named Tyrone that we don't fucking know about? Let me know something. Or else shut your bitch ass up and watch the motherfucking show. Fuck is wrong with you? It's not because he's white. It's because of his dad. His dad white, bitch ass nigga. Sit back. Damn. Fuck is wrong with you? And it's because of this big body, little head having ass bitch. One eye open, one eye halfway closed looking ass bitch. It's this bitch fault. It's this bitch fault. It's this bitch fault for real, blood.
Youthful offender programs to discuss whether this one is a step too far. But first I want to let you know what two official affidavits have to say about Butler's behavior.
His dad's had something to do with the football in Oklahoma State. I know that. But his daddy's still white. You bitch ass nigga. You know what? Because you know what? I'm going to send you the link to Amazon so you can get you a mic, a cam.
When he found out he'd actually be taken into
I would have
custody.
killed
According
this
to the
nigga.
first affidavit, a 16-year-old identified by her initials LS told a school resource officer in September of 2024 that she dated Jesse Butler for a few months earlier in the year, and that during that time he physically and sexually assaulted her multiple times, including trying to rape her inside his car outside an ice cream shop the previous February. The affidavit reads, quote, LS reported she yelled and told him no repeatedly and tried to push him off of her, but was unable to overpower him. LS reported Butler told her he was sorry for what he had to do, but he had to do it. LS recalled hyperventilating because Butler intended to...
Much love to little son nonsense. What the fuck do we mean by that? Sorry is something I had to do, but it's something he had to do. She recalled hyperventilating because Butler intended to have sexual intercourse with her and she did not want to. This shit crazy. And it get crazier as the story develops.
Intercourse with her, and she did not want to. According to LS, a woman must have heard her screaming because she walked up to the car and interrupted them. LS told police that Butler told her that if the police came, they would both be in trouble. He reportedly took her back to his home where her car was parked and tried
this little pizza tomato face little motherfucker, bruh. They should've. This nigga got no jail time. It's cause he pink. There now. It ain't cause he white. It's cause he pink. There. You happy? I changed the color up. It's because he white. It's because his daddy white. And he has something to do with the football shit. You want your credit? I'm going to put your credits in the motherfucking end of the video. Shout out to the nigga in the comment section. We know the story gonna develop. But yeah, man, this motherfucker got no jail time. Aggressive sexual assault therapy is fucking crazy.
Rape her again. The affidavit reads, quote, LS told Butler she needed to get home, but Butler pulled her on top of him and told her, you're not going until I'm finished. She said she was able to get away and go home, but this wasn't the only time that an adult may have witnessed Butler trying to assault LS. The teen says that she was at the Butler home in their movie room when Butler took his clothes off and tried to have sex with her. She says Butler's mom came to the door asking if everything was okay, but the affidavit doesn't say anything else about her reaction to what she might have seen or heard. In late February of 2024, Butler reportedly strangled her because she refused to have sex with him. The affidavit says, quote, LS reported she was hyperventilating and then recalled her vision being blurry and she was dizzy. She reported her head immediately hurt and she was confused about what had occurred. She was scared of Butler, but when she regained consciousness, Butler was laughing at her. Following this incident,
bro, that nigga was laughing when she woke up, bro. The nigga is a fucking creep. Fucking creep. And even how with all this shit in the paperwork, I don't want to say indictment, how with all this shit in the paperwork, does this nigga not get no jail time over a football coach?
Butler and LS
the president
broke up in March 2024, and he started dating a girl identified as KS. And is disturbing.
Now, this is the second young lady. He broke up with the girl he already then sexually, you feel me, SA'd. Let me say that. He broke up with this young lady. That all went on. She had to deal with all that. Prayers out to her and her family. Pray she gets the therapy she needs to get through what she got to have to get through in life because of this motherfucking evil motherfucker. And then he gets no jail time. So now he's with another young lady, and this is her story.
And aggressive behavior allegedly continued. A second affidavit details the assaults KS says she suffered during the relationship. Quote, KS reported Butler had left bruises on her hips from squeezing her so tightly. KS reported the intercourse was extremely aggressive, but she reported she quickly stopped fighting it because Butler would overpower her and hurt her to get his way. KS explained that she learned what to and what not to do to avoid being hurt by Butler. According to KS, Butler would pin her down and she was physically unable to get him off of her. KS stated this would often lead her to hyperventilate, which Butler thought was funny. According to—
Now look, this is the second young lady that stated, she's hyperventilating and he laughs at her when he hyperventilating. So this motherfucker sick in the mind. He getting off to this shit. He find it funny. This the kind of little motherfucker kill cats when they a kid. You feel me? And they still decided that this motherfucker needed aggressive SA therapy, bruh. What is going on in the world, bruh? What's going on in the world? This is fucking crazy. And this fucking face ain't blasted on every fucking channel. It's crazy to
avoid being hurt by Butler. According to KS, Butler would pin her down and she was physically unable to get him off of her. KS stated this would often lead her to hyperventilate, which Butler thought was funny. According to the affidavit, Butler also strangled KS so long that she eventually passed out. She reported she woke up on the floor of the living room in a home where she was house sitting. She claims Butler was livid that she wouldn't have sex with him in someone else's home, so she says he raped her instead. Later that same week, KS reported that Butler choked her again, and it's for a sick reason. The affidavit says, quote, KS stated Butler told her he wanted to strangle her so he could film it on his phone. And if
he wanted to strangle her so he
police
could
found that video on Butler's phone, which showed him choking KS until she passed out. Butler was charged.
So they found a video on this nigga phone of him choking this young lady till she passed out. Hearing all of this, we ain't even 10 minutes in the video yet. Hearing all of this, right? Everything we just heard in 6 minutes. We all got the same idea. We want to throw the book at him. It's some more stuff we want to throw at him. Some of us want to throw some hooks at him. But the judge, the district attorney, the defense, they all agreed that, hey, this would be best for this young man. This is the best outcome for this young man. And fuck the families of these young ladies. That's what they said. They had to sit down, have lunch, and decide. Fuck the families, this young man. But we know we gonna find out why later on. But we know why, goddamn it. But we gonna also find out an additional piece of why this young man faced no jail time for 2 essays and an attempted murder that they found on the motherfucker phone.
And it's for a sick reason. The affidavit says, quote, KS stated Butler told her he wanted to strangle her so he could film it on his phone. And if you can believe it, police found that video on Butler's phone, which showed him choking KS until she passed out. Butler was charged in March 2025 with 10 counts. An 11th was eventually tacked on when he reportedly violated a protective order. And we got our hands on body camera footage from Stillwater.
So not only did you do all of that, you was a protective order in place. You wasn't supposed to contact these young ladies. Now you decided I'm contacting the young ladies anyway because you a sick fuck and you think you above the motherfucking law and can't nothing happen to your ass. So now they coming to get your bitch ass. We coming to pick your bitch ass up. Yeah, let's go get him. Go get his ass.
Officers arriving at the Butler home and taking the teary-eyed young man into custody.
The teary-eyed young man.
Obviously tell our story too. Yeah.
Need to tell our story too. This bitch need to be locked up with him. The mama knew. She heard them little girls in there screaming and shit.
Jess, it's mom. Open the door.
Jess, it's mom. Open the door. Lock this bitch up too.
And if you'll just have him step out. Okay.
This bitch need to be locked up with him.
Wallet and phone and stuff. So, okay. You're what? They're in the car. Well, okay, it's fine. It's not locked or anything, is it? Okay. So, can you tell him what you just told me, or? Yeah. So we're here. We're obviously going to place you under arrest. There's a warrant for your arrest. We're going to take you to the jail.
Don't cry now, bitch ass nigga. Oh, nigga, don't cry now, bitch ass nigga. No, nigga, don't cry now, bitch ass nigga. You was laughing when you was choking little girls out, man. Don't cry now, bitch ass nigga. You Teletubby ass nigga. Oh, my mama, don't cry now, bitch ass nigga. Your mama don't cry now. You wasn't crying when you found out that little nigga was doing all of this. When you heard these allegations, bitch, why you ain't put him in aggressive therapy, sexual assault therapy, bitch? My mama, bro, lock this scarecrow, wicked witch of the east looking ass bitch up with him. Oh, my mama.
Bondsman, and you shouldn't be very long.
Now you hugging
it's a process for paperwork and stuff. But
you
right now you
there
have to come with us, and you have to put you in handcuffs. So turn around for me.
Yes, bitch. He a criminal. He's a thug, bitch.
You know we're doing this.
Telling you, white exhaustion.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted of stories like these, I tell you.
I'll get you out. For me?
I'll get you out, you hear me? Lock the bitch up. She gonna be the reason. Lock her up too. I'll get you out, honey. Why, bitch? It was a protective order in place, bitch. Much love for the subs. It's a protective order in place. He violated that order. Contact these young ladies after what they accused them of doing. No, let his ass sit. Your ass gonna sit. You shouldn't have contacted their ass. Go sit your ass in there so you can see what it's gonna be like. So what's gonna stop him from going to do something to somebody else in the future? If he don't know no real punishment, even when he broke the protective order, mommy coming to get him from jail, and he gets no jail time. This is insane, not gonna lie.
No, it's about this. Candy's on this, Dad's on his way. We're coming to get you, okay? Just stay strong.
Coming to get you, okay?
Okay, so he's going to go right to the city of Stillwater jail, and if you'll just contact her, then she does this all the time. She knows what to do. Yeah.
Make sure
Okay.
she knows Stillwater Police Department, not county.
Stillwater Police Department, on Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we're the ones that picked him up.
And when we say we are
Stillwater PD.
Stillwater PD.
Bitch ass nigga.
I'll check over and go with the county.
Awful experience with the child.
It's an awful experience for a child. This is an awful experience for a child. What the fuck? That's the police. Oh no, that's the mama saying shit like that. That's the mama. Lock that bitch up. Every time I see her, I want her locked up.
Butler was
Love you,
released on a
Jazz.
$25,000 bond when he entered his.
Lock this Shawn Michaels looking ass nigga up. Lock him up. He gonna be at a college frat party someday, hazing somebody, or doing some putting drinks and shit, and they ain't even knowing it. I'm telling you, we calling this shit now, and it's gonna be on y'all hands.
no contest plea over the summer, the mom of LS shared her victim impact statement online, and it says in part, quote, "I've had to carry this weight while going to school, trying to act like I'm okay. I've woken up from nightmares that make me feel like I'm being attacked all over again. I've had to explain bruises, explain silence, explain why I started isolating from people who loved me. You didn't just strangle me with your hands, you strangled my voice, my joy, my ability to feel safe in my own body. I will never forget the night you strangled me unconscious because I said no. The moment changed my life." A medical professional later told me that I was just 30 seconds away from dying. 30 seconds. If you had just kept your hands on my neck just a little longer, I wouldn't be standing here today. That wasn't just a scare. It was a near-death experience. You didn't just hurt me, you nearly killed me.
I think reading that from my kid probably wouldn't have made it through the court proceedings. I wouldn't have been able to just sit behind the motherfucker while he in that motherfucker. I'd have played it cool though, for sure. I'd have definitely played it cool, but I definitely would have got a running start, Superman punch off, like something, like got there, dove in the air and just landed straight to neck. Like, I'm gonna get my choke. I'd have been choking that nigga like Homer used to do Bart when both his hands used to close together on his throat. Like, they'd have had to peel me off that nigga. They'd have literally had to peel me off that motherfucker. That's crazy. You ain't just hurt me, you nearly killed me. 30 seconds for my kid to know they were 30 seconds away from death at your hands. You would have I definitely would have made it through the court proceedings at all.
Later told me that I was just 30 seconds away from dying. 30 seconds. If you had just kept your hands on my neck just a little longer, I wouldn't be standing here today. That wasn't just a scare. It was a near-death experience. You didn't just hurt me, you nearly killed me. LS also addressed Butler's
mom in her
statement, saying, quote,
I wouldn't have made it through that shit.
I don't know if you heard me crying through the walls or noticed how your son treated me when no one was looking, but I hope you hear this now. Your son hurt me in ways that cannot be undone, and I need you to understand that your silence, your protection of him, or even your denial, that would hurt too. Because someone should have stopped this. Someone should have seen the bruises and the fear.
Man, the mama knew. The mama knew. And it is to the parents. I don't know if you heard me crying through the walls or noticed how your son was treating me when no one was looking. You heard her crying through the walls, man. That's real, man. That's why I said the mama need to be locked up. She an enabler, and she need to be locked up with him. That's crazy, bro. Yeah.
Law and Crime's Jesse Weber recently sat down with Justin Shepard, known on social media as Just in the Nick of Crime, who did some of the first reporting on this story and spoke with people in Stillwater.
What have you learned here about how this is even possible? Because
here we go. Now here we gonna figure this shit out.
Speculation online right now that the Butler family may have connections that may have helped him get this so-called sweetheart deal. We couldn't confirm that. What can you tell us?
So I've spoken with some of the families as well of both victims who came forward against Jesse. There is a third victim who, she hasn't come forward, but can you blame her when you look at this as the justice that they get? So there's a third victim. And kind of like you said, the speculation is that Jesse Mac Butler's father is a man by the name of Mac Butler. And
okay, so this the Mac Butler, this the daddy. The nigga don't look black to me. Motherfucker said it's not because he white, it's because his dad. Motherfucker daddy don't look black, but that's neither here nor there.
He was the head of football operations at OSU for, I forget how many years, but for a pretty long time. He's, kind of a staple in that community. And when we're talking about Stillwater, Oklahoma, we're talking about OSU. For people who don't know, Stillwater is the town that Oklahoma State University is in. So there's a lot.
So his daddy was the goddamn director, the director of the football shit or the sports shit. So yeah, down south, that sports shit is big. It's a small, tight-knit community. So that nigga probably was banging that bitch back in 67. He probably used to knock that bitch up, go back in his old school Chevy and knock that bitch up or something, man, because the bitch gave the nigga aggressive therapy. What do that look like? What do that look like?
A lot of things tied to that. Mac Butler, it seems that he grew up there. His wife currently works for OSU. His daughter works for the public school system there.
$60,000 for my car crash from this app.
He was apparently had been hired as like a coach of some kind for Stillwater High School as well. So somebody with deep-rooted ties into the community, and that then leads you to the judge in this case, or one of the judges in this case, Judge Susan Worthington.
This big body, little head. Who is this? And it was this big body, little head. Having ass bitch. That's what the bitch reminded me of. I'm sitting there And I'm like, it's the big body and the little head. That's what the bitch reminded me of. Big body, little head, having ass bitch. Yeah, that's what it was. I'm sitting there like, why do I know the bitch? Okay.
Between her and her father, the Worthingtons have had a hold on that bench for over 50 years. So while you can't necessarily say definitively that, hey, there's this connection here because he's deep rooted in football, you know, she's a judge, they all grew up in the same town, that there's this kind of connection, but it's not really many difficult mental gymnastics to make that leap, right? That, hey, this is a town that
bitch look like a gooba.
You know, requires the college, needs the college.
Bitch look like a gooba.
It's very deep rooted into the system. That they're very much supportive of OSU.
That bitch head was so little, but her body was
very
big.
Close-knit, and that's kind of what's being speculated to the point that even it's now gotten the attention of one of Oklahoma's lawmakers, Representative J.J. Humphrey, who's also running for lieutenant governor. I'm
shout out to J.J. Humphrey.
A little bit more details, but.
Yeah, and if you can, I don't know if you said already, but Representative Humphrey is talking. My understanding is about a potential investigation.
Investigate that shit.
Is there going to be a formal investigation into what happened here?
It sounds that way, yeah. And so he kind of looks at it in the same way. He was telling me he's got a lot of background, in the court system and investigation before he got into politics. And he said, basically kind of the same thing that
this little motherfucker look. Do this nigga look like a nigga that need? He do look like a nigga that need aggressive therapy. But he looked like he need to be locked up. Yes, I'm judging a book by its cover. Yes. You know what? I'm not ashamed to say I'm prejudiced all the damn time. I will judge your ass. Yes, that keep me safe. Being prejudiced have kept me alive. Real talk. Growing up in Oakland, California, being prejudiced kept me alive. Real talk. And on my mama, this nigga look like he need to be locked up. He look like he gonna repeat again. I just take one look at this nigga. Yeah, repeat offender. He already got 2 offenses.
Can he say definitively, or can he prove right now that there's a connection? No, but his exact words, but it sure as hell smacks like it.
It smacks like it.
So he's like, it's worth an investigation. So he's thinking about, wanting to put a grand jury together to do an indictment, possibly, the conversation we had, which we'll go a little bit more in depth, and I don't know if that could bring additional charges against Jesse, because when you look again at the litany of charges, there are some that should have been on there that weren't. Like, in my opinion, as not a lawyer, why he wasn't charged with attempted murder when one of the girls was near death.
I myself, sir, have never done time in the prison. I do not know what the prison look. See, look, you judging the book by its cover. It's just you misjudged. I know this nigga gonna repeat offend. You could look at his face. Booty face ass nigga. Pizza booty face ass nigga. This nigga gonna repeat again. I take one look at him. You feel me? You just lost your parlay money. My parlay probably gonna hit. Aggressive therapy.
And so those are kind of the conversations, but he feels that not just Stillwater, that entire
sure does smack like it, Kay. Sure does smack like it.
He said it flat out. There's corruption, and he believes that this is no different than that. And it merits an investigation.
Joining us now to talk more about this case is Judge Brandon Birmingham from Dallas, Texas. Thank you, sir, for being with us here on Law and Crime. In this case, there's youthful offender status, which is what the...
No, that's all love, man. I'm with the jokes, too. How you doing, Thomas?
You know well about in your...
All jokes, man. I'm with the love, man.
What is youthful offender status?
It is
shout out to you, good brother.
Assigned really to those that are juveniles or on the cusp of being a juvenile, where the punishment for certain crimes is lesser than it would be for an adult, and they have certain programs, certain conditions under the law that the judge can order somebody to go through, and it's a little different for those that are younger than it is for adults.
How does that compare to, because in this case, the defendant was 18 years old at the time that this deal was reached.
So it happened when he was like 16, took about 2 years. By the time he was 18, by the time it was reached. So he 18 now. He was doing all this shit as a youngster. What's this about? What's this guy do? He essayed 2 young ladies. The first young lady he essayed multiple times, broke up with her, got with another young lady at school, essayed her. Not only did he essay her, he choked her out till she was unconscious on multiple occasions. One occasion, he forced her to let him film it. He filmed it, and when he was arrested, the police found this recording on his phone. So now we talking attempted murder. Clear-cut case of attempted murder. And this man gets no jail time. Aggressive sexual assault therapy is what the judge ordered, and community service.
But it's not a situation where maybe he was 15 years old or 14 where this would be a juvenile
Yeah,
case.
nigga
How
was
does the youthful
16.
offender status compare to what you might see in a juvenile case?
It's just a function of punishment. You know, I think there's the idea in assessing a punishment that, you know, those that are younger are more likely to make mistakes and need to learn from those mistakes, as opposed to somebody who's, let's say, in their mid-20s or maybe in their 30s, or, you know, that's an adult that we expect them to behave in a certain way. And there's, you know, maybe not laws that are written in a formula, but I think when considering what a person's punishment ought to be, you know, somebody's age and experience has always been taken into account.
Yeah, shit crazy.
In this particular case, this was a no contest plea, so this was a deal that was reached.
So this was a deal that was reached. He pled no contest, meaning they have enough evidence. What does a man profit to gain the whole world and forfeit his soul? Mark 8:36. So this motherfucker pled no contest, meaning I can't fight it. We gotta say y'all got enough evidence to convict me. I'ma just say no contest. No contest means the district attorney. Why did the district attorney accept this plea? He could have denied the plea, and the judge could have denied the plea. The judge could have been like, "Nah, man, this is misjustice. This is not justice. We're gonna take this shit to basically trial again. We not doing that. I ain't taking that." But they chose not to.
Between the defense and the prosecution. For you as a judge, just when these cases go through, and what is your role in this? Because I think for there to be in a case like this where there is going to be criticism, and that's just the way it is, and I know you know with your job that there's always going to be criticism of the system in these types of cases. What is the job of a judge? What are you looking for if a prosecutor and a defense attorney come to you and say, we've reached this agreement that youthful offender status is what we're going to move forward with?
Well, the job of a judge really is to make sure that all of the processes are followed to a T, and that everybody, both sides, I say everybody, both sides has availed themselves to the opportunities under the law to be prepared and to have what they need in order to be prepared. So you're really at that point sort of an umpire that's just making sure that all the boxes have been checked. We do have the discretion and the ability to reject a plea, and if we reject a plea, then we don't get to just put our own stamp on it and say, I reject the plea and I'm going to sentence you to 50 years. You know, essentially what the rejection of a plea does is it takes everybody to square one.
He went to court looking like a raver in the goggles, looking like Shawn Michaels or some shit. Bret Hart. Nigga went to court looking like Bret Hart. And they and that motherfucker striking up poses and shit. They knew they feel like T Grizzly. I went to trial back to back. Bitch, I'm 2-0. They feeling like T Grizzly. This nigga probably dropped the first day out. You feel me? Video and shit. That's crazy. So you hear this judge down from Texas says, you know, we do have the authority to say, hey, we ain't taking this plea. We're going to go to another jury and we're going to figure this out because we don't accept this. But they all agreed on it. And that's what's spooky. That's what's creepy. And that's what screams corruption. That's what screams corruption. Not going to lie.
And puts it on the trial docket. But that is an extraordinary remedy. And so what you're looking for at the plea is what information has led both sides to come to this agreement. And the judge has the ability, if they want to seek out that information. And because we do have the ability to say, no, we're not going to accept it. It's unjust or it's unfair or the process hasn't been followed.
So why not do it?
In this case, Butler could have received, if the maximum, if he had gone to trial all the way through, the maximum would have been roughly 70 years in prison. Instead, through this youthful offender status, he is going to have a treatment plan that he has to go through with different requirements that he's going to have to meet. But you look at what he was accused of in this case, and it's very difficult to read through. It was violent. What are some of the factors that a prosecutor and the defense attorney you're working with, when determining that youthful offender status is a good resolution for this, how does maybe violent tendencies, the threat of maybe reoffending, how does that go into whether or not this person would be a good candidate for this, as opposed to what could have been?
I don't like how they saying, what if he reoffends when he already reoffended? He did it to each young lady multiple times. He's reoffended multiple times. This nigga is a serial rapist. He's a serial rapist. He already, what that shit called they be talking about on Criminal Minds? He's already advanced his murder. He went from just SA to SA and now he's, choking. He want to see if he can kill somebody. He's evolving. That's what they say. He evolving. You feel me? This motherfucker already evolving in his criminality. That shit sound good. I've been watching too much Criminal Minds. That shit sound good. He evolving in his criminality. Lock his ass up. Aggressive therapy treatment? Community service? 0 jail time. Son, you went from 70 years to 0 jail time. Motherfucker was looking at 70. 0 jail time is crazy.
I mean, the good majority of his life in prison.
He already admits.
A prediction of what you think might happen in the future.
It's wild and scary. That's wild and scary. For real.
One of the ideas is that somebody's history will indicate how they're going to react in the future. And so when you're saying, okay, does this person deserve more, a lighter sentence or rehabilitation?
Yeah, he just got caught. He definitely would have continued.
Can they be rehabilitated? And is there still hope for them to be rehabilitated? That's one component.
And then another thing, right? Something that just bothers me. If they found a video of him choking the young lady on the phone, what does that have to do with the SA charges? We into a different realm now. He is physically assaulting people. She passed out on the video. Like, the medical examiner say she was 30 seconds away from death. What the fuck is y'all on? And how is this okay? A slap on the wrist is crazy for this. Slap on the wrist is crazy work.
A nuanced issue. The other one, of course, is what are the facts of the case? In other words, if somebody could commit a horrible crime, they might have all the potential to be rehabilitated, but the crime itself is such that maybe that they just need to be punished. And there's always a tension between what's best for the defendant on the one hand, what's best for society, and then, of course, what's best for the victim. And
what's best for the defendant is probably the craziest statement made out of this whole shit. They'll put you under the jail for dealing weed, a pound. Look, I ain't gonna lie to you. But if you rape somebody, you get therapy. He'll repeat, of course, with the 2-girlfriend experience that shows him how to repeat the assaults. And now he know the role to play too when he get in this shit. Like, he know the role to play. This nigga gonna be sneaky with it. He gonna get away to it. Not only will he reoffend, but he gonna reoffend and he gonna get away with that shit. No, that's real facts. That's real facts.
That voice is heard in the sentencing process. But all of it, to go back to your first question, the lawyers are assessing their cases. And you know, there's strengths and weaknesses in every case. And allegations are allegations. You've got to eventually, if you're the prosecution, line up your proof and make sure that you're right, because you don't want to lose. You don't want to even go forward if you're not right. And so I think plea bargains are also a function of the quality of proof by view of how the lawyers assess their case. And so, unfortunately, with a plea bargain, the public doesn't always have all of the information because there's no...
All right, so that means these dirty motherfuckers. This why Boosie don't fuck with you, dirty motherfucker. These dirty motherfuckers was like, look, it's the evidence we got. Either the prosecution was scared to lose. They like, we don't want to lose with the evidence we got, so we gonna try to make some kind of plea. But y'all plead for no damn time? No damn time? Stop crying. White people need happy, fun time too. I'm telling you, this is where white exhaustion come from. Right there. This is where white exhaustion come from. I'm exhausted with this shit. I'm tired, boss. That nigga say, stop crying. White people need therapy too, man. That shit crazy, demonic. Even this YouTube shit, motherfuckers really get on YouTube and let out how they really feel. That motherfucker probably in his community, he probably was touched by somebody though, and I'm sorry for you. He probably was a victim. He probably was victimized. The nigga that just commented that, they a victim. And now they victimizing people. That's why he find that shit funny. Because he was they were fondled. You feel me? Somebody was touching that inner thigh. Had them touching uncle's inner thigh, you know? And I feel sorry for your mother. You feel me? I feel sorry for your mother. Real talk, G. Real talk. Get you the help. Go get you some aggressive SA therapy, bruh. So you can heal and you can stop passing on the hurt. I know they say hurt people, but you got to stop the cycle somewhere, good brother. You still my brother in Christ. You still my brother in Christ, you know? But you got to let that shit go, bruh. You got to let that shit go, bruh. You feel me? I know you still probably spitting out pubes and inner thigh hairs and shit. Nightmares about that shit, but you gotta move past that shit, bruh. It's above you now, bruh. Let that shit go.
Trial, you know, in the trials, why I love trial so much is because you do get all the information. You get to see the witnesses, you get to judge their credibility, you get to see text messages or videos and all that. In a plea, the public really doesn't, so we are sort of left to speculate. But as a plea bargain, and somebody who's presided over thousands of them and done them myself, you know, plea bargains are functions of proof and your assessment of how strong your case is, whichever side that you're on.
And this is a case, and I think when you read the allegations against this defendant, you hear, the victim impact statements. I mean, it's hard not to be emotional for what these girls had to go through. And I'm sure the judge who
even as a woman, a judge, like, damn, you would have thought he was cooked. You got a woman judge? Cooked. This motherfucker went from 70 years to 0 jail time. How?
For this deal, knew that there was probably going to be some criticism of it, considering there wasn't going to be 70 years for a period of time in adult prison because he's 18 years old. Not asking your opinion of the decision for this to be youthful offender status, but just as a judge, I mean, it's so rare that we get to actually talk to somebody who sits in the chair. How do you deal with some of those deals that may come across that are public, that may have criticism of it, and knowing that you're presiding over something that's probably going to get a lot of heat from the public and from people, there is probably information we don't know in this case, but that there's going to be a lot of frustration from the public when it goes through.
And I've been in that situation before many times, some of it in very public settings and some of it not public, but either way, as a judge that every decision you make, you're going to disappoint precisely half of the people that are looking back at you, and sometimes everybody. And so what you have to do is fall back on what your role is as a judge. And we are process followers. We make sure that the process is followed. We also make sure that everybody stays within their roles. And so that is procedural justice, procedural due process. And so we have to adhere to that. The public outrage is going to come. And we're not here to be popular. We're here to be stewards of the law. I think that there's accountability for that too, in the sense that the decisions we make, we are not the end-all be-all. If there is something untoward that's gone on in any given case, there's a process in place, a review process. We answer, unlike the Supreme Court justices of the United States, we do have a reviewing body that looks at whether we did something that was outside of our processes, and we have to be held accountable for that, and we should be. There should be a transparency. I guess the line is that we could never be held accountable for a decision that we make within the realm of discretion. We can always be held accountable for decisions we make that are outside of that process, outside of the law, whether it's ex parte communications, bribery, things like that. That is where we can be held accountable. We can be held to.
So what happened? Let me know some.
We're seeing now, there's a call, I think, into some of, what caused this plea to happen in Oklahoma. And I would hope that to the extent that it can be transparent and accessible to the public, that I'm sure everybody involved
I need to see what happened.
Responsibility very seriously.
What was going on at those meetings?
Justify why they did it, or at least make sure that there was nothing outside of that zone of discretion that played into this.
Why is everyone
like who related? Who fucking who? Somebody fucking somebody.
Definitely killing them.
Because him going to jail is going to fuck up somebody's image. Because what?
Treatment plan that he's going to be going through, is there any sort of monitoring of him that could continue on? Like, I think of someone who, if he was 26 years old, he goes to prison, he might be a registered sex offender when he comes out, and he has to follow those guidelines. In many states, it would be for the rest of your life. In a youthful offender status situation like this, once he finishes the treatment plan, what would happen next?
Well, if he finishes it successfully, he doesn't go to prison. I think that one of the parts of this is that he has to complete it, and if he doesn't, then he's looking at, I believe, up to 10 years in prison as a result of that. So there is some accountability for him to finish, but if he finishes it successfully, then he's off of what is very similar, I guess, to like a probation. He's off of that status, and he's free to live out the rest of his life.
No registering as a sexual offender. So that means you don't got to let little kids know you live in the neighborhood, because when he get old and creepy, he going to be on that shit again. He going to be on that shit again when Paul Pierce poses is crazy. When he get old and creepy, when he get old, he going to be old and creepy. He going to be back on that bullshit, back on the prowl, rolling around in a truck looking for little girls, man. And it's going to be your fault. Because this nigga going to be been so polished as a fucking essayer because you motherfuckers done let this motherfucking serial rapist on the damn street.
And obviously, too, I mean, anytime you Google his name, for the rest of his life, there's a weight that comes with that because he will be associated, with this case, which is so difficult to hear. When it comes to recidivism rates, and I know that that's always a big topic of conversation, I mean, how effective, not speaking in terms of this case, but just generally speaking, are these youthful offender status cases?
Well,
he gets treatment and Diddy got time. Is crazy work. Say that shit again, good brother.
Here in Dallas.
That's fucking crazy. Diddy in jail. This nigga got treatment.
They were 17 to 25, and I don't mean to say that this is one of those things. They're geared.
That shit crazy.
But with the right environment, you try to seek out the root causes of the problem. That could be substance abuse, that could be mental health, and if you can treat those problems, then you go a long way towards making sure this doesn't happen again. But that does not
That nigga did all this shit sober. I don't give a fuck about this nigga going to drug treatment, alcohol abuse treatment. None of that shit gonna stop that nigga from being a freaky motherfucking man. He a freaky. That nigga already, he a freaky frog.
You freaky frog.
He a freaky fucking frog. It's over with. It's done. Ain't no treatment.
Freaky frog.
Ain't no rehabilitating. I don't even like that. Ain't no rehabilitating for that shit. You a freaky man. You a freaky man. You ain't no rehabilitation.
As a way to get out from under accountability and punishment in the appropriate circumstance. So it's that tension that we talked about right at the very beginning. You know, what's best for the defendant, what's best for the public, and of course, what's best for the victim. And they're having their day in court as well.
Yeah, and you know, this is just such a.
This next story we finna run brought me to damn near tears, bro.
Encouraged they had to come forward.
This next story.
I've been frustrated with this. We'll see.
Man, fuck this nigga. We finna run this next story. My mama, fuck this nigga. This nigga mama need to be locked up. They need to lock that bitch up. They need to lock this nigga mama up. Hey, bitch, if you ever see this, bitch, I know what you did, bitch. You heard them kids crying. You heard what was going on. You heard what your freaky ass son was doing. You heard that shit. You knew he was killing them cats. How many cats this little nigga killed when y'all was coming up? When he was growing up? How many cats he killed? How many cats y'all had to fucking bury because of this little motherfucker? Huh? You know, you knew. And bitch, until you do right, bitch. But that's neither here nor there, man. I hope this motherfucker, I hope God get a hold of you, good brother. I hope God gets a hold of you. I ain't gonna wish nothing else on you. I hope God get a hold of you. Because man, oh man, you reap what you sow, good brother. And you might not reap it the way you put it out. That image of the girl in a wheelchair when his victim did 30 seconds from brain caused any brain damage. If like he's the type to have a girl locked up in his house in a bedroom or something, that is facts. No, they didn't say she had any brain damage or anything like that. They was good. I think that was just right after it had happened. So man, that's really messed up. She had her throat like cut. I don't know how he did that to her. I mean, from strangling her, they say. But that was a bad image, man. That's crazy, man. So despicable motherfucker Jesse Butler, who need to be thrown under the jail, who didn't get no jail time after essaying two young ladies. And they even said that there may be a third victim who hasn't spoken up yet, so that's crazy. So that he's already been a repeat offender 3 times and he still didn't face any jail time. He went from 70 years to no jail time. That's absolutely crazy. And I ain't gonna hold y'all up too much longer, man. You already know what to do, man. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll be back with another one when we got another one. And man, what's the
Okay. New player circle. So, again, low.